Welcome to our ghost hunting. I'm Meeka Nomicon, and I'm not haunted. You're haunted. I'm telling you, Mira, this is ridiculous. She's been complaining the whole way, but she keeps following me step after step up the overgrown hill. Crickets chirp at our feet. It's not that big a deal, is it? It seems like only someone who was haunted would put up this much resistance. Nobody, haunted or otherwise, wants to be trekking up a hill full of garbage in the cold. And once we finally get to the top, our reward is a rotten farmhouse that will probably collapse on our heads. Don't be so pessimistic. Look, just don't blame me if it happens. I'll be sure to blame myself, just before the house falls on my head, if it makes you happy, Cass. You know, if I was Cass, that would make me happy. Also, the right to say I told you so. That's always pleasing. Are there ticks here? There'd better not be ticks here. We climb in silence for about a minute. Just for the record, I am not haunted. Cass rarely lies, which makes this unusual. Maybe she is just in denial. The two of us deal with the supernatural for a living, so it's obvious to both of us. One of us has definitely been bringing ghosts along with her. God, I hope it's us. I'd love to have my own personal haunting. It'd make me feel all special inside. The point we differ on is who is responsible. I know for a fact that it's Cass, and not me. Tonight, I'll prove it. It's even worse up close. Now, how has this place not been demolished yet? The house yawns open ahead of us. Vines crawl up the shabby walls, and the door hangs off its hinges. Beyond the threshold, nothing is visible but black darkness. I can't believe they even built a house here. Seems like a bad idea. Well, Cass opens her notebook. There were a lot of accidents here while it was being built. The construction crew had a feeling something was off, but the landowner kept on building the house anyway. It just seems reckless. You and I understand that, but most people can't see the signs. Well, to be fair, most people don't really believe in the supernatural. So, if there was a series of accidents during construction, you'd probably just chalk it up to being coincidence or bad luck or something. I'm used to seeing things others can't, but this seems impossible to miss. Sometimes, the world we live in every day wears away a little. All it takes is a bit of stress, like wearing out the knee on a pair of jeans. Supernatural forces always surround these little spots of wear and tear. Most people can sense it on some level, and know to stay away, like intuition. But I guess real estate investors never actually set foot on most properties, or else they feel comfortable making it someone else's problem. Out of curiosity, what's it look like to you? Cass understands this stuff, but she can't actually see it. I, on the other hand, can't avoid seeing ghosts and curses. I tried for years, but some things really can't be ignored. Oh, pretty! I've got my own personal northern lights. It looks like cracked glass. Hmm, well, let's get this over with. She opens the door. We didn't meant to bring flashlights, right? Theoretically, I should be able to tell which one of us is haunted just by looking. In practice, though, it's not that easy. What I see isn't always clear, and the both of us spend so much time around supernatural phenomena that my vision gets obscured. Plot twist. We're both actually being haunted at the same time, and that's why we can't tell who it's originating from. In a place like this, though, ghosts can't stay hidden. The strength of the haunting draws them out into the open. If one of us is haunted, it won't stay invisible for long in here. Oh, so wait, in these frayed areas of our world, it's essentially a supernatural hotspot. So I guess it amplifies all their powers, right? So that's why they're more visible. In my mind, that means they're also more dangerous, though. So, potentially we might not make it out of here alive if we are being haunted. It's the only way to be sure. Cass takes out her camcorder and tracks it around the room. She can't see ghosts the way I can, but she has her own ways of understanding them. Nothing much yet. Just quick question. Are we actually allowed to be here? Because if we've technically just broken an entry, this is evidence. We should probably make sure no one else sees this footage. She's right. I can't see much activity either. There is, however, a growing sense of physical pressure. The darkness around us feels solid. The second floor doesn't look structurally sound. We should stay down here. Looks like there's a kitchen to the left there, and a living room down the hall. Do you have a preference, Mira? It depends. How malevolent do we think these spirits are? If we enter the kitchen, are we going to get attacked by knives? I kind of want to risk it. Let's go to the kitchen. Let's take a look at the kitchen. Agreed. Kitchens are spiritual hotspots. We're bound to find something there. She leads the way to the room on our left. The halos of our flashlights reveal cracked tiles and rusting appliances. It's a cramped 50s-style kitchen. Its colours all gone to grey. Dust motes cloud the air. Signs of previous activity. After images. Visual static. It figures she's treating this like just another job. I doubt she knows how to interact with this stuff otherwise. Some interference if I film at this angle. Something embedded, maybe. Let me see. Oh! Did someone die at the stove? That would be unfortunate. Huh? Hello? Can you hear me? No reaction. Definitely embedded. So I'm guessing people did actually live in the house, right, after it was built? Are you one of the residents? Or maybe you're one of the people that died during construction. In Cass's personal dictionary of hauntings, that means it's an echo of somebody who got stuck. It's unable to act or perceive us. Maybe. But with ghosts, nothing can be neatly categorized. Place doesn't seem as bad as it's made out to be so far. No signs of anything malignant. Do you feel anything unusual? No. Do you? Hang on. Don't just say no so quickly. Give it a second and think about it. Mira, I'm not haunted, okay? I can see something in Cass's hands, her eyes. A silver glint that blinks through my perception, then vanishes. Am I seeing an echo of a knife? I know I made a joke about us getting stabbed, but I wasn't expecting Cass to be the one to do it. It's either indications of a haunting, or traces left from years of investigating them. Cass doesn't flinch when it comes to this stuff. She'll walk through any curse or haunting and look any furious ghost in the eye. Well, in that case, yeah, Cass is probably the one that's being haunted. She can't even see it looking back at her. It must be like working in pitch dark. Never knowing for sure if the shadow in front of you is a harmless echo or a soul-devouring demon. I can't stand it. If you say so. For a few moments, we both stare in the direction of the figure at the counter. When you think about it, imprints like this are something like proof that the things human beings feel, that we experience in our heads, have an impact on the world even after death. Yeah, it's really comforting, in a way. No body, no mind, and yet still an impression on the world. A way to say I mattered. What I had been about to say was scary. You know what? I agree, I'm more on the scary side. I don't know, it's just emotions are very temperamental. It feels concerning to me that they would be the after effect that lingers on the world. I mean, the nice ones, yeah, sure, they'll be nice and fine, but a lot of the strongest emotions are pretty dark. that the universe itself would acknowledge human suffering in this way. That it never leaves, not in death, not over the long passage of years, not ever. That's not comforting at all, Cass. Mirror, let me tape you for a second. Feel free. I'm not haunted, so you won't see anything. Cass turns the camcorder onto me. I glare back into the black eye of the lens. Nothing yet. Because there's nothing to see. Well, I guess the haunting isn't strong here. The embedded isn't malicious at all. Just very stuck. We'll have to go deeper in. Let's go. It's dusty, and the air is so stale it seems to press against the skin like cotton. Cass tries to push past me to go further in, but I put up a hand to block her. There's something here. Cass looks at my expression. That strong of a manifestation. A presence this strong is surprising. Maybe this place is further gone than I anticipated. Something greedy and furious is pulsing in the middle of the room, and like the ghost in the kitchen, it radiates hostility. Just stay back for now. Let me get a good look at it. Oh, it does seem rather spirally. Yikes! This place must be a lot worse than I thought. I'm afraid I am unable to understand you. Okay, relax, you're fine. I think it disagrees with us. Just take it easy. I reach out a hand, and the vortex slams against me. Its pain is infinite, all-consuming. Involuntarily, my hands shake and my eyes fill with tears. I said you're fine. This will be the most efficient way to clear it away so we can pass, though I'll admit it's dangerous. It's fine, because unlike Cass, I know when to stop. Are you sure? Wait, are we essentially just trying to take in all the despair? I mean, if we weren't haunted before, we probably will be after this. Oh, maybe we did calm her down. They were alone here. Their pain is so intense, it's unabating. It's like holding your head under boiling water. No matter how much of it I take in, I'll never even make a dent. There's nothing left of this person but the way that they suffered. Ghosts are just that, pure feeling. I know that, but I still want to... Huh? The sudden absence in the room is dizzying. Hey, have you completely lost it? You're really trying to tell me you're not haunted when you're pulling crap like that? You exercised it. Of course I did. You were going to hurt yourself doing that. Cass! Why the hell when you asked me first? I was getting somewhere. Well, that's not exactly what you were saying to us. And to be fair, if all that remains is the feeling, not the actual person, exercising it seems like the best thing to be doing. Otherwise, we're just making ourselves suffer, right? You always... It was the right thing to do. I don't need to ask. Unbelievable. How can she even say that so confidently? She can't see a thing. She doesn't know what's happening. Do you really think just taking in all its pain is a solution? This way, its suffering is over. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have any idea. Whatever, Mira. It's done. I don't know why Cass always has to be so... Cass. She can't see ghosts, not even a wink, but even so. In the past, she always believed me. Everyone else thought I was losing my mind. People were afraid of me, or pitied me, or both at once. But Cass just took what I said at face value. She looked around with her stupid camcorder and saw a few floating orbs and said, "That matches up." Of course we decided to work together. I'd explain what I saw, and she'd make sense of it. Then we could resolve the haunting together. There were people out there who respected us as a team. But even back then, was she always like this? And I just didn't want to admit it. Just believing me isn't enough, Cass. What? Nothing. I guess this place is even worse than I thought. If we stay here long enough, whatever's haunting you will definitely be pulled out. You are so goddamn stubborn. We wait in silence for a bit, staring at each other. The middle of the room, where the ghost had been just moments before, seems to almost hum in the silence. Still not enough, huh? Let's move on then. I'm sure we'll have more look towards the basement. Oh, definitely go down to the basement. I double dog dare you. The veil really is thin in that direction. It might be dangerous. What? Now you're trying to scare me? This was your idea, Mira. You're right. Let's get going. The back hallway is lined with old photos. They're so faded and covered by dust and cobwebs that it's almost impossible to make out anything inside the frames. I'm guessing then, whoever last lived here left in a hurry. Or they died here. That's why all their stuff is still here. Maybe it's the ghost at the stove. The most I can see are grey humanoid shapes. I wonder who hung them here and why they were left behind. The stairs seem to go on way longer than they should be possible for such a small house. The space feels cavernous. If you see another ghost, just tell me so I can get rid of it. I don't think so. If I see another one, I'm taking care of it myself. What? By just letting it kill you? Like the one in the living room? I don't think that would be very effective. Cass! Just shut up! I'm not just letting it hurt me for no reason. It's actually really messed up, you know? How you treat them like they're people. Like you think you owe them something. Sorry, I'm the one who's messed up for treating ghosts with respect. Erasing a haunting by force doesn't solve anything, Cass. That thing you erased back there, eventually, it will just come back. If you don't try to understand a ghost, you can't ever help it. And to help it, you have to take in a little of its pain. But if it's got no consciousness left, how would you ever be able to help it anyway? Because you won't be able to resolve the issue that caused the pain in the first place. I know my own limits. I don't know that you do. You're the one who has no idea what you're doing. One day you'll confidently waltz into a situation, try to erase a manifestation like you always do, and because you misread what you were dealing with, it'll devour you. Because you didn't even try to understand it. Just because I can't see it doesn't mean I don't understand. I understand them in pain. I just don't value a ghost's well-being over that of living people. You just don't get it. We stare at each other for a bit in the dusty hallway. My heart is pounding, but I can't find the words that will make her understand why I'm so angry. You know, this seems like a very bad time for us to be having this fight. Unless it's like the house itself is amplifying our emotions, and that's why we're reacting so strongly to each other right now. I mean, I suppose the veil is thin in this area, so if it has an effect on ghosts, it could have an effect on humans as well. So, I just stand there in the silence. Whatever, Mira. Let's just head down. She gestures to the bottom of the staircase. There is a darkness down there that feels like it has teeth. I should feel afraid. Let's go. I push past her and take the first step down. Without even the faintest light peeking in between boarded up windows, the basement is completely black. Our flashlights slowly move over wooden beams, cobwebs, and stained concrete. Watch this place be full of asbestos. I'm going to die from asbestos just so you can prove yourself wrong about me being haunted. I take in a breath to reply, but what I see, caught in the back of the room, leaves me speechless. Oh, we've got an entire nebula now. Okay, this one will definitely kill us if we take in the pain, right? Something twisted, desperate. Stop. This is where the world bends, and a small tear bleeds into the open air. Like leaves caught in a grate of a storm drain. All the worst of it flowed down here, and could go no further. The ghosts are too jagged and bloated to move through the tear, and too weak to break free from its draw. The poor, pathetic, goddamn things! In the stark darkness of the basement, I can see the lines of hauntings like veins. The inexorable pressure of the rift draws our ghost towards itself. It pulls at Cass and I, so much that I can almost feel it on my skin. I can see the truth now. Do you know what? I still haven't changed my mind. I want to be haunted, goddammit! Seeing the haunting draws out of me like strings of cobwebs. I have to laugh. Am I stupid? The whole reason we came here, this rift, was pulling me in. Come on, talk to me. What are you seeing? You know, there's a lot of different beliefs out there about possession. The most popular one is pretty simple to understand. The ghost takes control of you, and you stop being yourself entirely. Maybe you blink out of your own eyes once in a while, just enough so that your loved ones can tell you're still in there. But really, it's just the ghost controlling your every move, pretending to be you. It's easy to understand. We should go. This place seems worse than we expected. I catch her arm as she turns. Why? Maybe I should stay here. You know as well as I do that possessions aren't actually so simple. Rather than taking control of you, a ghost just lives in you, tucked away in a little abandoned chamber of your heart. It feeds on you so subtly that you don't really notice it until it's far too late. Cass takes a deep breath. All right then. Whatever ghost you put in there, take it out. I'm going to destroy it. As if you could. I take a slow step towards the rift. I want to plunge my hands inside and take in every piece of soul, detritus, caught in its edges. Maybe then it'll be worth it. Maybe then I'll get so possessed I don't have to be me anymore. Mira, stop! You realize this is not your own feeling, right? That's the haunting. It wants you to take in more pain and suffering. You don't have to do it. It would be better if you didn't. You don't know anything, Cass. When I first met you, I thought that there was finally someone else who understood. Who could look at all the leftover pieces of suffering in this world and see it. See how really freaking cruel the universe was. Yeah, I took in this haunting on purpose. It feeds on my sense of self as a living person. It feeds on Mira. Which is fine by me. If all I'm good for is taking on other people's pain, why the hell not? At least it means something to someone. You're doing the ghosts a disservice. Their time in this world is over. It was important, it mattered, but it's still over. You're a liar, Mira, but I won't let them take you that easily. She grabs my hand. Just get out of here, Cass. I'll admit it. I'm haunted. I blamed you because it was easier. Just go back and forget this ever happened. No, I won't make it that easy on you. The dead suffer. I acknowledge that. You have to look at the suffering all day, every day. I know you're tired of it, but it's not meaningless. It's not even cruel. Then what the hell is it, Cass? The same thing almost everything is, Mira. It's just another problem to fix. Feel better? Not really. The traces of it cling to me still. The place in my heart where the haunting lived feels empty. I guess it was chewing on my self-worth as a person. But I'm not sure if I ended up with much of that left. Who is Mira without a bit of haunting dragging her down anyway? I did what I had to do, you know. If I hadn't excised the hauntings, it would have completely eaten you. Sorry. I know. You just did what you always do, Cass. What I rely on you for. You see the problem, and you fix it. Oh, and now Cass is haunted. That's a bit of an issue. Even if you know that someday it will just come back around, stronger than ever. Is it bad that I kinda did want to plunge myself into that void? Go on then, Cass. You're gonna be haunted this time. It's so much fun, trust me. Hey, Cass. You're haunted. The threads of the haunting drift from Cass's chest like cobwebs. I guess I thought I'd feel justified, or like gloating, but I don't. What? Talk to me. What are you seeing? You know, there's a lot of different beliefs out there about possession. The most popular one is pretty simple to understand. The ghost takes control of you, and you stop being yourself entirely. Maybe you blink out of your own eyes once in a while, just enough so that your loved ones can tell you're still in there. But really, it's just the ghost controlling your every move, pretending to be you. It's easy to understand. What's not easy to understand is when a haunting takes up residence deep inside, barely noticeable, like a parasite. It chips away at you tiny piece by tiny piece, so that you can't even feel it. Huh. She looks away, expression bitter. What? So I lost the bet? It's me for sure. She takes out her camcorder and tracks around the room. Even from here, I can see the glitchy artifacts tearing across the tiny viewport. After a minute, she puts it back down. Whatever, fine. You win. She can't even tell. It isn't something you'd ever notice on your own, because it's just pushing you to act even more like you want to act already. Everyone doubts themselves sometimes, Cass, but a haunting like this, it feeds on that sort of thing. And it leaves you with this irrational self-assurance that you can fix anything, that you have all the answers. Half the time you don't even know what ghost you're standing in front of, do you? Mira, you're just guessing. Because you want to be right so goddamn bad. And soon, you'll guess wrong, and it'll eat you. Just not today. What the hell are you doing? I'll take it. This is what I do, Cass. I take in enough of a ghost to understand it, to feel its pain. That smooths off the worst of its jagged edges, smooths some of the pain. Then it can move on. It won't need to live inside you anymore. That's dangerous. All you're doing is inviting your own haunting. So what? I'm not so different from them. Cass, if you could see what I see, you'd feel the same way. Feels lighter, right? I guess so. A little. I feel stupid for not seeing it before. That's certainly, in itself, I guess that was part of the haunting. I wonder how long it's been like that. Doesn't really matter, does it? This is weird, but in a way, it felt like that haunting really loved you. It lifted away so easily. All I needed to do was touch it. It moved on, right? Whatever that haunting was. Yeah. We're lying. We are absolutely lying. It definitely moved on somewhere else. Okay, well, technically not a lie then. It's just wordplay. It did move on somewhere else, and that somewhere else is us. Now, we're haunted again. You know what I like to think? I like to think that technically, my prediction was correct. We both really were haunted. Just not simultaneously. If you enjoyed your time here, I'd greatly appreciate you to like this video and subscribe to this channel. But other than that, it was a spooky day, and I'll catch you next time, guys.